Hello everybody, Factosaurus here. Today we're going to be discussing all the new information regarding the official reveal of Jurassic World Rebirth. So yeah, I won't keep you waiting, let's get right into it. To start off, we have to talk about the new logo. It just looks absolutely amazing. It might just be my favorite logo for all of the films. I just love the color choices with the yellow fading into the blue and the sunset below the T-Rex skeleton. Just simply an incredible design. I love absolutely everything about it. Then, of course, we have the confirmation that the seventh Jurassic movie will indeed be called Jurassic World Rebirth. This was theorized to be the title of the movie a couple months ago, and that theory ended up being correct. I know some people are still confused about this name, though. The main thing that I see everybody asking is, why is it still called Jurassic World and not something new? Luckily, I have a very simple answer to that question. Money. Everybody knows the Jurassic World brand. This brand has given Universal literal boatloads of money. Even the plot synopsis, which I'll get to in a minute, starts off by telling us that each movie in the Jurassic World trilogy grossed over $1 billion. It just wouldn't make sense from a marketing standpoint to change the brand like they did in 2015. The series isn't dead. It doesn't need anything new and flashy to get people's money. And speaking of that synopsis, I'll read it to you now. A new era is born. Next summer, 3 years after the Jurassic World trilogy concluded, with each film surpassing $1 billion at the global box office, the enduring Jurassic series evolves in an indigenous new direction with Jurassic World Rebirth. Anchored by iconic action superstars Scarlett Johansson, breakthrough talent Jonathan Bailey, and two-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali. This action-packed new chapter sees an intrepid team racing to secure DNA samples from the three most colossal creatures across land, sea, and air. Also starring acclaimed international stars Rupert Friend and Manuel Garcia Rufo, the film is directed by dynamic visualist Gareth Edwards from Rogue One: A Star Wars Story and Godzilla 2014, may I add, from a script by original Jurassic Park screenwriter David Koepp. 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, the planet's ecology has proven largely inhospitable to dinosaurs. Those remaining exist in isolated equatorial environments with climates resembling the ones in which they once thrived. The three most colossal creatures within that tropical biosphere hold the key to a drug that will bring miraculous life-saving benefits to humankind. Academy Award nominee Johansson plays skilled covert operations expert Zora Bennett, contracted to lead a skilled team on a top-secret mission to secure genetic material from the world's three most massive dinosaurs. When Zora's operation intersects with a civilian family whose boating expedition was capsized by marauding aquatic dinos, dang, I didn't know Hesperornis was in this movie. They all find themselves stranded on an island where they come face to face with a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades. So the reception on this plot has been pretty mixed for pretty much only one reason. That being that the dinosaurs are now all basically extinct except for the areas around the planet's equator. Now, I understand why people are upset about this. It basically makes the Jurassic World trilogy seem like it was a waste of time, since this is really what it was building up to, dinosaurs in our world, and they immediately took it away from us. However, while it might not be great from a world-building perspective, scientifically it actually makes a lot of sense. Allow me to explain. The non-avian dinosaurs lived in a much hotter global climate than the one we currently experience in the modern day. According to a study done at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, the global mean temperature during the Mesozoic era was about 6 to 12 degrees Celsius warmer than it is today. The study also says that it was around 0 to 5 degrees hotter in the tropics and a staggering 35 degrees warmer in the polar regions. These animals simply just aren't built to survive in these lower temperatures, so it does make sense for them to be migrating to the equator. And before you go into the comments and start typing, actually, the dinosaurs are confirmed to be endothermic. Well, yes, that is true. It doesn't support your argument even in the slightest. All mammals and birds are endothermic as well. But if you were to put a rhino in the northern reaches of Canada, it's not going to fare too well. Anyway, sorry for my rant there. Let's get back into the actual plot. Another huge part about this movie is the dinosaurs that the main cast is going after, those being the three most colossal creatures across the land, sea, and air, and their miraculous drug that can save humanity. To start off, I once again must address another thing that people are talking about, that being how they don't understand why it has to be the biggest ones. This once again also has some science to back it up. From a statistical standpoint, it would seem like larger animals would be more susceptible to developing forms of cancer. After all, if you have more cells, you should be at a higher risk of stuff like that happening. But in reality, that's actually not the case. The reason for this is because larger animals tend to have additional tumor suppressor mechanisms to prevent fatal diseases from occurring. Sorry for that rant once again. This time I'll actually start talking about the movie. Alright, now I know that me and many others are wondering what exactly these animals are going to be. For the sea, it's pretty obvious that it's going to be Mosasaurus, even though the blue whale exists. But let's be honest, with the goofy growth rate of this thing, it probably is the largest creature to ever exist at this point in the series. As for the air, I think it's reasonable to suggest that this animal is going to be Quetzalcoatlus. Unless they decide to introduce Hatzicopteryx, it looks like the Quetz will be making a return in Jurassic World Rebirth. Those two were pretty easy to pinpoint, as there's no other creatures in their element that even come close to their size. However, with land, it's really hard to say. While the sauropods are unmatched in terms of size, for entertainment's sakes, they're probably going to choose a theropod. So which one of the big three is it? Well, we could pretty much rule out Giganotosaurus, despite Dr. Grant literally saying that's the biggest carnivore the world has ever seen. It likely won't be making its return for a few reasons. First of which being that the Giga was created by Biosyn, and only one was ever made, and that one died at the end of Dominion. Also, it had pretty bad reception from the fans, so maybe that's another reason why it won't return as well. And to me, that really sucks, because in case you couldn't tell from my profile picture, Giganotosaurus is my all-time favorite dinosaur. But then, that leaves us with two very likely contenders, those of course being the Tyrannosaurus rex and Spinosaurus. Going off of science, there's no contest who wins in this regard. T-Rex was by far the largest carnivorous dinosaur to ever exist, that we know of, on average weighing in at around 9 to 10 short tons, with the largest individuals possibly exceeding 11 tons. The Spinosaurus comes in at a measly 7 to 8 tons. But of course, this is Jurassic Park we're talking about. We can't rely on scientific accuracy. Or can we? This new film seems to be leaning more into the realm of science, as we've seen with the major plot points of this movie. Perhaps they may do the same here. Plus, T-Rex is literally the most popular dinosaur on the planet, and it's in their logo. It's the literal face of this franchise. But that doesn't mean there won't be a Spinosaurus in this movie. In the synopsis, it says that the family who's also stranded on the island was attacked by aquatic dinos. I know that Jurassic doesn't know what their own animals even are, as they've very clearly shown us, but maybe this time they're talking about an actual dinosaur, such as the Spinosaurus. I know that that idea is a little bit more out there, but it's still entirely possible. Then, of course, there's the big secret that's been hidden from the world for decades. I'm going to be honest, I don't really want to talk about this. One, because I don't want to jinx dinosaur-human hybrids, and secondly, I'm just getting really lazy writing this script, and I just want to get it done already. So now let's move on to the images we were given. First one is of Scarlet and the paleontologist guy, whose name I cannot remember at the moment. They're looking in wonder at something. This is likely the scene where they see their first dinosaur. But notice the long grass in the background. Let's just say I have a feeling that's going to come into play later. The last image is of Mahershala Ali's character holding a lit flare while looking at something that he's truly terrified of. This is definitely the T-Rex that he's looking at. So I think that's our indicator that the giant land animal they're going after is indeed Tyrannosaurus. And now that we've gone through those, we are officially done with everything that's been revealed so far. This is looking like it's going to be one of the best films in the franchise, with all the people who are working on it and the great scientific plot that it has. I just can't wait to see Jurassic World Rebirth in the theaters next year. But what do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And with that, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.